Um, this guy says, you always say be yourself, but it's easy for hot people to be themselves because they're hot. What if you're weird? Like I am weird. Like really fucking weird. Like like Dungeons and Dragons weird. When do I let that part of me show? I feel like when I do it now, I scare women away.
Well, there are women that love Dungeons and Dragons.
Precisely.
And there's a community, a huge community of people that love. I love Dungeons and Dragons.
I was gonna say this is a question for you.
Yeah, there's no one that I don't think there's a one type of person too. I've met because I'm pretty open about how I like it, and I'm a big fantasy nerd and stuff like that. And so I meet many people that come to my shows and they're like, don't look like they would like Dungeons and Dragons, and they're like, I play so much, it's so much fun. Like, so talk about it. It's not that weird of a hobby. Like, it's like literally it's a board. It's like you're playing a video game, except for you're playing a character and speaking rather than like pressing options. It's fun. Like,
yeah, I would say on that note though, maybe don't whip it out of nowhere at a woman. That can be pretty overwhelming for women when you just start talking about your weirdo fucking hobby that that they have zero interest in.
Go with your normal ones first, because I did not tell my girlfriend how much I loved Lord of the Rings and fantasy novels until I knew it was too late for her.
Yes, precisely. You do kind of have to trick a woman and then go, gotcha.
It's not so much a trick as much as like, all right, I know she loves me for who I am. Yes. Now I'm going to show her what I am.
Yeah. A lot of these guys will just fucking whip out their hot sauce collection or whatever and go, how about it, babe? And she's like, I'm going to go find a guy working in finance.
Yeah, I don't think women date men for their hobbies all that much. They date, like, sure, that's a fun thing to have in common, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely, if I guess it's Dungeons and Dragons is what you're talking about, you might be incredibly weird, like noticeably so from the rip off, like you're wearing a fucking Winnie the Pooh t-shirt.
Right.
And
fedora.
Slinging Yu-Gi-Oh cards by a fucking trash can at the local GameStop or whatever, whatever. If you are that weird, my guy, I will be honest with you. Dial that back a little.
Yeah. You have to unfortunately be more normal, you know? Like, I want to wear a cloak. I'd love to be caping it around town. I'd be turning corners and whipping that thing. It would be sick, but like I can't. I'm not ready for cloak time.
Yeah, you can't be showing up on a first date with a Gandalf staff like, why won't she fuck me?
Yeah, I don't get it. I showed her the Silmarillion and explained it in full.
Women are evil. It's like, no, you're dressed like a wizard, brother.
You're whiffing. It's the same thing. I like this is gonna sound crazy, but women have interests. And they're not bugging you with that shit, you know? They're fucking being normal. Like at least pretending at first.
Yeah, and when I say be yourself, what I really mean is sort of like the essence of like, don't be afraid to have an opinion, or don't be afraid to express yourself, but that doesn't mean that you have to dump exactly who you are onto every person you meet every second of the day, which is a problem I have, and women hate me.
And I'm speaking from an place of expertise. Yes. I'm swinging and missing it out here.
Yes. But I think that's great advice, like he said at the beginning there. Ease your way into it and make sure she likes you for you. And then kind of go, hey, by the way, I like to dress up like Reptar and, whatever the fuck your weirdo shit you're doing.
And here's an awesome thing, too. Don't expect her to like it or want anything to do with it. And then go, well, fuck yeah, that's a thing I do. I'm going to do that on my own.
Yeah.
Because I notice, especially with weird boys like me that are like into the like fantasy type shit, they think that like there's going to be some kind of like heavy romance or like, and we will do everything together. She is my lady. Like, your hobbies are for you.
Yes.
Don't expect her to be interested in it, and then be like, great, well, this is a thing I'm doing.
Yes.
That shows that you're confident in yourself. That's all that people really care about. They don't care what you're confident in.
And the more you are yourself, the more you'll start to realize that you kind of sift through the sift through the women that will put up with you because you're so authentically you, and at some point, you know, you're not wasting anyone's time. You're getting right to the point there. But yeah, bro, I get it. We're all fucking weird as well. I do want to say that. I know I say this weird little guy shit. Bro, I'm an absolute nut job, fucking psycho goofball. And no matter how weird you are, there's somebody out there for you, bro. I've been shooting out of my league my whole life, and I'm an absolute fucking strange freak.
100%. You know? My girlfriend is objectively hot.
I said, And we're doing just fine because we are ourselves, and that's really the key, brother.
Yep.
Please take that to heart. And if you do start feeling a little self-conscious about yourself, just kind of look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I'm that motherfucker anyways.
You're the man. Come play Diablo 4 with me sometime.
yeah. This guy would love to play Dungeons and Dragons with you. He's got a got a damn wizard hat on his back.
I'm a fucking I don't know what level I am anymore. I haven't played in a while, but I'm a bugbear. I'm a mushroom druid.
Perfect. I hope that helped, brother. And just know we're pulling for you. Well, folks. Guess what? We're fucking back with another episode of the Being Cool podcast. Practical advice for weird little guys. Before I introduce my guest, you already know we've got a little bit of house cleaning. I keep getting it wrong. I just want to say thank you to everyone who wrote in on the last episode and all my gay listeners as well. Y'all hit us with a couple questions this week without asking for photos of the cock and balls. So nothing but respect. We did it. And I appreciate you guys listening and hearing me out. With that being said, folks, you know the drill. We're joined today by another amazing comedian, one of the best in the entire country, the king of Colorado himself. Many of you could never. Give it up for Christopher Higgins.
I don't think you understand the joy that intro just produced within me. Hi. Hey, Tucker. Oh,
I try and give the guest a little juice.
Many
you know what I mean?
of you could never. Yeah, the Tuckerisms are here. You didn't ask for the cock and balls. That's huge.
It's been a running theme on this pod. I have a few gay listeners who hit me up consistently with requests for my testicles and feet.
Ah, feet, just feet and testes, huh?
Yeah.
No shaft, please. Get that out of here.
Yeah.
We're just interested in what does the work.
Yeah. We're like, we need the dangly bits.
What
first.
gets you there and what makes you come?
Chris, I appreciate you coming on the show. Yet again, like I mentioned, you know, we started together basically. Maybe you were a year or two before me, but you are slowly becoming one of the best comedians in the entire country.
Oh, that's crazy. Thank you. I'm sorry not to call you crazy, but I have work to do in my mind, but I appreciate.
Well, certainly we all do.
Dude, yeah, thank you. It's great. We did start pretty much together. I think I did a little, like a year of exploring, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I remember when you came along in Chicago. That was fucking great. You told me I dressed cool, which I was like, oh fuck yes. That took me. That made me stop trying to dress cool for at least a year. I was like, I got it.
I'm glad you brought that up because one of the things I admire about you is you do have sort of your own personal style.
Yep.
And you always have since I've known you. And, you know, again, this is a podcast about how to be cool, et cetera, et cetera. So walk me through that. Were you always sort of when did you find that?
No idea. I started cuffing my pants real high pretty early.
Okay.
And that's about it. It was probably just from grew up in Colorado and then moved to Florida, and I wore a lot of like pants but cuffed up in Florida.
Right.
So that was what I started doing with my pants. And then I don't know, as far as style goes, I just it look like I'm about to go camping most of the time. Yeah, I think.
Well, you're kind of a bigger guy, so you have steez for a bigger guy.
Yep.
Not many big dudes have a lot of steez.
That's how you distract them from your titties. is a cool sweater.
That is true. I cover up my body constantly.
Yeah,
and
they don't notice that I'm a man with tits if they notice how cool my pants are.
That really is the key. You do kind of have to, whatever you're self-conscious about, you just have to cover it up for your entire life and then take it to the grave.
Well, clothing's an easy way to feel good about yourself, too. It's something that's super in your own control, except for how you look in it. Sometimes it's annoying to order or buy something and then days later realize I hate the way I look in this. There's nothing worse than that.
I mean, I've blown so much money on internet shopping only to get it in the mail, and it's actually like a women's leotard.
Yeah. And how proactive are you with returning things? Because let me tell you, I procrastinate to the point of ownership.
I've never returned anything in my life.
Yeah, I mean, before I met my girlfriend, I never really had that in me. And then she showed me how easy it was, and I was like, my God, I am owed thousands of dollars.
I see returning things as like, hey, clearly I've made a mistake here, and this is the cost of doing business. I'm a buffoon. You know?
If I bought it, I was like, well, I got to get fucking better at buying. This is not working out for me.
Yeah, it's clearly my fault, you know?
There's nothing you can do after you press purchase.
Yeah. Well, also with fast fashion, they're like, hey, do you want to pay for this on credit? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, like a pay monthly?
Klarna. I get the Klarna every now and then. They get my ass with Klarna.
Yeah. Klarna is, I do a lot of, if I ever have a last minute flight somewhere.
Yeah.
They're like, want to do this gig? I'm like, of course that wouldn't financially ruin me.
Yeah.
I'm not a whore for stage time to the point of absolutely bankrupting myself.
Yes, I do the same thing.
Yeah, and then you pay that shit over time. I learned that from a mutual friend of ours, Kenyan Adam chick.
Yeah, it is true though. That's the kind of sacrifice you have to make.
Yeah. I owe airlines money to this day.
Yeah.
And will continue to.
Well, and then yet another great, what is it called? Segue. Another thing I admire about you, Chris, is that ever since I've known you, you have been like, no, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a comedian. And you were probably one of the first ones I knew to kind of basically go full time.
Well, yeah. I mean, I always had, what was a life raft in a way of at first selling pot.
Correct.
You know? Now that I'm not doing it, I'm not worried about telling the folks I was committing felonies for a while.
You were a legendary drug dealer.
I sold weed and a little bit of other stuff. Well, mushrooms, if we're being honest. And that helped me go like legit, essentially. That was an easy income. Super profitable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a backup plan, which is a stupid idea. Don't anyone take that advice, but I'm pretty committed to it. Yeah. I moved to Chicago to do comedy, and I had a day job for about a year and a half, and it felt rude to the day job too, like, because they wanted something from me, and there's other people who are out there like, I can't get a job worth shit, and I'm sitting on one of them.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, let me get out of here. I'll go walk some dogs. You guys want to take that job seriously? Please do. Someone should.
Yeah.
I'm going to take comedy seriously.
Well, and I think one of the things I like to push on this is the concept of persistence and, you know, being kind of ruthlessly persistent despite all the signs telling you that maybe you should go a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's another way for just delusion.
Yeah.
Purely, essentially. Yeah.
Certainly, yeah.
For years, I've thought that I'm better than I am.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Which is that's a little secret. If you don't think you're cool, just pretend.
Boy, if that ain't the fucking
fake it
truth.
till you make it. I think that happens to young people a lot. Like me, all it took was like one person who thought they were cooler to tell me I wasn't as cool as them.
Yeah,
and then I believed them.
Precisely.
And then one day I got older and I was like, I don't have to believe what anyone says about me.
Yeah.
Holy
you
shit.
love fantasy as well. You love living in sort of
I do. Yes.
In sort of a magical world of your own thinking.
Escapism. Certainly listen to a book on a book. I keep calling them books on tape. They are not on tape.
Well, yeah.
I call them. Someone pointed that out. I was like, a book on tape, and they're like, "What did you just say to me, you goofy little third grader?" I listen to Audible all the time. Pretty much. People are like, "What music are you listening to?" And I'm like, Ruin by John Gwynne.
Well, that's what I do. People are like, do you read? I'm like, do I read? I read for hours at a time.
I read while I do dishes. I read while taking the subway anywhere.
I'm one of the great readers of our generation.
I read while hoping the plane crashes.
Yeah. Audiobooks are so funny because I will listen to a whole audiobook 19 hours straight, get to the end and go, oh, what was that about?
Yeah. Yeah, I do some rewinding.
It's a very
30 seconds at a time. But yeah, the fantasy thing is like, I can't help it. I just ran into a woman I grew up with. We grew up like a block away from each other. She's a year older than I am.
Yeah.
She lives in Brooklyn, where I'm staying with my brother. We ran into each other on the street, went and got lunch, and she was like telling me about her Instagram feed, and she was like, it's all she was like, it's all Lord of the Rings. And I was like, so it's just our neighborhood or something. Like I was like, so she's way different than me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
still that one little thing. Like,
what's your IG Explore page looking like?
A ton of Lord of the Rings memes, a lot of soccer stuff because I love the Premier League. I get rugby stuff as well.
Of course.
Because I like weird sports. Well, I like European sports, I guess. And Jokic. I get Jokic things.
A lot. I can see that
I'm like
as well.
fully in love with him.
Do you get any butt cheeks? Mine's probably 90% butt cheeks.
No, I think I'm not.
You healed it.
I'm not looking at a whole lot. Because right now I'm on kind of a fitness thing. Like thinking about fitness and trying to become less hefty. Less jolly, more serious. There's strong guys are leaking into my
some
algorithm.
butt cheeks of their own.
Some men boobies and butts are coming in. And it's very interesting, and I'm like, oh, okay, because I'm looking at like workouts online and like things like that, and like just what I'm Googling, and so yeah, it's like a lot of like big tough fellows that I want to look like.
By all means, our gay listeners are going absolutely bananas right now.
Yeah, I'm gay.
Me too. Hey, you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Kidding, fellas. Quit writing in. Keep writing in, obviously.
Don't write me.
I'm actually.
I like a little flirting.
Yeah, why not? I like a little attention myself.
Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of healing my Instagram Explore page due to all the butt cheeks that I've basically have collected over the years.
Yeah.
It's relentless in which they pour them onto my page. But I've been sending a lot of dog videos to people, and now I'm getting a lot of puppies in there.
That's great. That's wholesome. There's a what's the Instagram page that it's just a girl with big boobs, and then it's called Puppy Melons.
God bless the internet.
And all it is, it's a picture of a puppy, and then you scroll one over, and it's like an OnlyFans model.
And she's making $250,000 a month
on Puppy Melons. Only Puppy Melons too.
I have nothing but respect for that. That's the kind of entrepreneurship. I'm like, yeah, bro, find a thing that works and go for it.
No shade. I said shade, which is hate and shade combined. No hate at all. I make money anyway. What am I doing but whoring my thoughts out, essentially?
Yeah.
A lot of people hoard what they think is funny. It's like personal to them, but I am like shouting it to the moons.
No, certainly it's my whole fucking life
Yeah.
is clinging on to whatever I can desperately have, make absolutely no mistakes.
Think about stand-up sometimes like that. I'm like, we're just getting up there and going, and here's what I think is funny.
Yeah. I struggle often in my darkest moments. I struggle with sort of the narcissism involved where I'm like, who do I think I am? This is crazy. But
yeah.
Then I do it and I'm like, I don't care. I like it so much. I don't care.
It's not for anyone but you.
Yeah, it really
and it is narcissistic. But they say that thing like, do what you love and you never work in a day. So then that's narcissistic, I guess.
True. Yeah.
I'm not here for martyrs.
Amen.
And
bro.
if you're trying to be a martyr to me, like, oh, well, I'm doing it, like, then don't.
One, to be honest, being a martyr is a little bit narcissistic.
Narcissistic, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Everyone's a little narcissistic in their own way.
We're certainly trained for that now.
Yeah.
You have a camera facing both ways in your hands.
Yeah, literally.
At all times.
Literally.
And then every one of your friends is going like, look at what I did. Can you show me what you did, please?
Yeah. I was just ranting and raving about how there was an eclipse and all the comedians. I was like, I hate when comedians just chime in on everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute, I have 2 podcasts. Maybe I should shut my big fat mouth.
Hold on, I'm doing some chiming of my own here.
I'm actually one of the worst chimers of our time.
That's hilarious. Dude, it's a fun pod. I like it.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
love the vids and stuff. I mean, who's limiting you from doing 2 pods?
Right, and my big thing is I really believe that we're kind of at the end of I think this is the last pure creative distillation of humanity before the robots get here.
Right.
And so I'm going to kind of really distill it as much as I can until it's
put as much as you can out before it gets dilute, because humanity will never stop trying, but I think we're going to get diluted by failed creatives who turn to AI.
Yes, precisely, and just overflow these algorithms.
So I wasn't good on my own, but I'm willing to cheat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. I got one more question before we get to the questions here. I'd just like to let the guests know who we're dealing with here. You're also in a long-term relationship, Chris, and I just want to know what has being in a long-term relationship helped you? How has that benefited you as a man? Not to get all deep here.
No, I mean, just literally being a better compromiser.
Yeah.
Certainly has had its ups and downs, and just as any long relationship, but if you want something, you make it work.
Yeah, and I think that's good for the soul, is to kind of take some of your internal focus off yourself sometimes and go, oh, I have another person here who needs me.
Yeah. Selflessness is obviously I'm super into myself. I'm a stand-up comedian. I think about my own thoughts all the time and don't really dedicate my brain to anybody but me, but it feels good to get it off me.
Yeah.
And it's someone I care about that I know cares about me.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
I feel like a lot of weird little guys may see women as sort of something that gets in the way, or maybe they see them as sort of a maybe like an unfair obstacle in their life, when in reality it's like, no, women are fantastic and can really benefit you in pretty much every single aspect of your life.
I mean, a partner
except financially.
It's like yeah, sort of, they can. I mean, my girlfriend definitely has a good day job and I think is very funny to the point where, she's a stand-up. She's doing comedy. I think she'll figure that out. She's been in it less than I have, less time, and it's a matter of time, but she's, I think, not a financial burden in an investment is what I'm saying. Why are you in this? Because I think she's going to make me a lot of money one day.
You're like, I love women. They can make me money.
This one is a worker.
My wife, or do you mean my employee?
Yeah. She's tireless. And not as selfish as I am. No, it's not to be like a quote type guy, but like it's Chris McCandless, that guy who went into the wild or into the woods or whatever. Like, happiness is best when shared.
Yeah,
and I think that's very true. And when you find someone that you like, want to be like, oh my God, a good thing happened, and if there's no one to call, then how shitty does that feel?
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah,
I think I really, as this guy who's been single for quite a while now, I'm pretty I hold a lot of admiration for people in long-term relationships, because I think it is so difficult and so beneficial that it requires a lot of discipline and dedication that I feel like people kind of overlook when they just kind of start to know you as two peas in a pod.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There's tons of dedication and like, just tough stuff, tough conversations, a lot of like just learning how to argue with somebody.
Yeah.
We've also, key to a long relationship, fight constantly.
I feel like you're an amazing arguer.
No, I'm really not.
Really?
I'm probably, I don't know. I'm not very good at arguing. I think I'm really calm, which is annoying to my girlfriend who's emotional. And which, not to say that's typical of women, but it's typical of redheads.
I dip my cap.
So I think I'm not a good arguer, but I just don't get super heated very quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that is annoying to argue against me about.
Yeah, that would piss me off.
Yeah, I don't have much. I'm like, well, I feel strongly, but that doesn't make me mad.
Yeah, yeah. That is sort of the key, is being so calm that it drives somebody up the
Oh,
wall.
yeah, and that's how you win. Hey, whoa, you're getting mad, and I'm not, so I've won already.
Every argument I've ever lost with a woman has been because at some point I go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, what are we even
And
fucking
they go,
doing
"Why are you
here?"
getting so angry?"
No, I certainly get mad. That's not 100% the truth. I get more exacerbated than anything.
Yeah.
Try to be like, "Oh my gosh, I said I'm sorry."
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
so I grew up learning that made it all go away.
Yes. I'm a good guy.
Yeah, I gave you like an iMessage, you gave me one. Let's go to recess now.
Yes, please, my lady. Incredible. Well, fellas, just a quick little interview with Chris here, and take some of that to heart because, it's a very difficult thing to meet someone, take care of them, have a successful career, persevere, work hard, and do all these things in order. And the guy is absolutely doing it, and we love to fucking see it.
And make no mistake, I'm getting taken care of more than I'm taking care of anybody.
I can see that as well.
This woman is raising me.
Yeah, I could see her kind of bringing you a cold towel at night, etc.
Don't mind it.
Incredible, folks. All right, well, let's get on to a couple of questions. Another thing that the goddamn listeners have been complaining about is they keep going, the episodes are too long. It's like, folks, I'm running a tight operation here. Get off of my hog, okay? I'm doing my best. Whatever.
Too long is like a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I? Lex Friedman's over here doing 5-hour debates on fucking Palestine.
Yeah, I mean, that fucking Joe Rogan thumb, man. Those are 3-hour interviews of. Yeah.
I do a 45-minute episode. These pigs go, get to it, you motherfucker.
Rude.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, thank you again, Chris, for sharing some knowledge with these motherfuckers. And yet again, an incredible guest already. We continue to have nothing but hits. We've yet to miss.
A reflection of the host.
Awesome. All right. We got a few questions here. This first one, I really love this one because it's very to the point, and I love when women write in. This one says, "Hello, I am a woman. Can you please teach men how to eat pussy? I feel like every guy who goes down on me has no clue what they're doing. The last guy I slept with was doing some sort of biting thing. Jesus. Please and thank you."
Dear Lord.
That's what I said.
First and foremost, the teeth should never be involved in any kind of oral unless asked for.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, he saw a YouTube video of some guy who's like, do a little bit of soft biting near the whatever there.
That's crazy.
I guess I'll start this off by saying, first off, I want to address that I feel mentally ill telling people on the internet how to eat pussy. Who do I think I am?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I was like, my girlfriend's either a really good liar or maybe I actually have some advice to give.
Yeah. I feel like every pussy I've ever eaten has just been them going, yes, nice job.
Very
now can
good.
we get to it?
Yeah, my advice about going down on women and performing cunnilingus is similar to my advice with cooking. Is like, if you can read, you can cook.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can listen, you can eat pussy.
Yes,
like, don't get too crazy with the tongue. Probably keep it tight and keep it fucking fast.
Yes.
Or slow and loose. Just fucking listen.
Whatever she likes. This whole alphabet thing that they were telling us in the 6th grade or whatever. Please don't be doing anything like that. That is for weirdos and perverts.
Yeah, you should know if you can rent a car, you should know where the clitoris is.
Yeah. I'm always so fascinated by these guys who can't find the clit. I'm like, bro, do you not have the internet?
Yeah, it's not that hard. I mean, it feels the same on everybody.
Yeah, it's like, what are you searching for with your mouth?
I think it's just one of those like played out women be shopping type of things.
Yeah, I think this was pre-Google. This is a pre-Google issue, the clitoris.
But they're there. I hope we answered that.
I would like to share one disgusting technique for for all the fellas out there. And again, my mother listens to this, and I am embarrassed.
Oh no.
What you got to do, fellas, if you want to make it, this is crazy with my wife beater on, about to say this to. What you got to do, fellas, is you got to take her legs and hold your tongue kind of stiff and put it where, where you're supposed to, and then rock her legs back and forth really quickly so that you don't. So that's when you get her close. Don't start doing that off rip.
Right. You're in for a long one if you're going for the rip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my advice is if you're getting her close, do not change anything about what you have been doing. Continue. If it hurts and you're like cramping up, then strap in, Playboy.
Yeah, that is actually the truth.
You're about to be done.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Well, I learned that from when I had a soft hog for many years, and I was trying to make chicks come from eating pussy relentlessly.
Yeah,
you kind of have to really get good at that for a while.
Practice makes perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always feel so weird giving sex advice on here because I'm ill-equipped.
And I don't have much stamina.
But I would also like to say, yes.
And I'm on bottom.
I would like to say one thing to this lady that wrote in here. I do understand you. That is probably quite a big problem you're running into, and I do have some sympathy for you there. What I would say is that you're going to need to communicate a little better to these men instead of getting upset with them. We are buffoons.
Yeah. Literally just tell us what to do.
Yes, precisely.
Yeah. I don't know if just talk.
Yeah, and if he doesn't do what you want him to do, then he sucks.
Yeah.
And then you can get mad.
Yep.
But communication is really the key there, milady.
Help.
I continue to defend men's rights at every point.
Oh, no.
Just kidding. Just kidding. We appreciate you, and thank you for writing in. All right, another incredible question here. This guy says, I would just like to say I love to pee sitting down. Is this cool? What are your thoughts? Brother, pissing while you sit down is one of the top 5 joys in this life.
Yep. Sometimes you just need a breather and to make sure you wiped good enough.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to stand up and like dribble my piss over a toilet. It's very difficult.
Yeah. It's a place to sit.
Yeah, it's a seat.
Take a moment. It's okay to sit and pee.
Yeah, it's literally called a throne for a reason. I find that men who are like, you have to stand up and piss, they are what we like to call closeted homosexuals.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with you if that's where you're drawing the line.
You're going to be okay. You go ahead and sit and pee. Also, when you're sitting and peeing, you never know. Maybe you'll be able to get a shit out real quick. Sometimes you get there and you're like, oh, wait, I do have to shit.
You're like, wow, 2 stones for the price of 1.
Now that we're here.
I will also say, bro, I appreciate you writing in, but nobody knows what you're doing in there. So do you want to be sitting down? Then do it.
Yeah.
Don't let any sort of preconceived notions of society stop you. You're a grown-ass man, unless, of course, you're like pissing with the door open in public and people are making fun of you. And I don't know.
If it's one of those weird bars where they don't have a door on the stall to the shitting toilet, go ahead and stand.
Yeah. Don't whip your dick out and just take a squat real quick.
Otherwise, the only weird way to pee is standing and trousers all the way on the ground.
Whole ass out.
Yeah, that's it. Just don't do any toddler pissing and we're good.
That is the toddler.
It's the dude. I want to do it kind of like pants all the way down and then like pull the shirt up and tits are out. Kind of.
Just at the urinal, like whole bar full of people.
Just making sure I'm not getting any of it on my clothes. I have no control over my dick.
That is what like the fucking old guys at the Y will do. Just drop trowel.
Strip all the way down and they're like, I gotta go check out what kind of products they have next to the sink.
I truly cannot wait for that point in life when I'm just fucking dick out in the middle of a Planet Fitness, just combing my hair.
Yep. Letting the boys breathe.
Yeah. That's really the key to happiness, is sort of just being nude and not letting the judgment of others affect you, which is what we're getting at here, brother.
Yep.
Never let anyone and what they think of you change your behavior unless it's evil. You know what I mean?
I have nothing more to add.
Thank you again for writing in. Not really sure if you wanted advice, but those are our thoughts. How about that?
Well said, Doug.
Another great question here, another short one as well. Hey man, I'm short and chicks don't like it. What do I do?
God, I can't talk on this. I'm 6'3".
Right.
I've never been small. I wasn't, well, yeah, I mean, no, I don't know, man. Again, I think it's a confidence thing because I'm also fat. And that's definitely a shortcoming for sure that women, that I have self-consciousness about being overweight. So as far as overcoming that physical obstacle, I have something I'm good at and I'm, that gives me confidence. That's really it.
One, I think you really touched on it there. It's you know, your short is his fat, and your short is my can't get his dick hard sometimes. You know, it's like everyone's got a thing that that feels like it's going to get in the way of what you want, and it will if you think that way.
Yeah, my hugest advice is don't get that leg extender surgery.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like being physically you know, whatever outside of whatever the norm is not something to like fully fuck yourself about.
Precisely,
you know?
yeah.
You have to just learn to love yourself, basically. And
I do want to say, man, you know, we preach this on pretty much every episode. We had a caller call in about having a small cock, and you know, the worst thing you can do with something like this is allow it to kind of like your insecurity to reflect in the real world. I know a lot of short guys who struggle with anger issues and have a lot of hatred towards women for sort of the same reasons that you've discussed here. And I guess, you know, the key here, man, I know so many small dudes who are absolutely doing totally fine. And it's because they don't allow it to reflect in the real world. They know who they are deep down inside. I do want to say, with that being said, we don't know what that's like to be a small man, and I bet it is hard, and I bet people do kind of treat you unfairly.
But everyone gets loved.
Yes.
So long as you're open to being loved.
Yeah. And also, bro, it could be so much worse. You could have half your head missing from a birth defect. You could be fucking having no arms from a motorcycle. You know, it may sound crazy, but just because you're short doesn't mean life is going to pass you by. It's actually one of the easier things to overcome.
Yep.
You know, with that being said as well, don't be expecting women to not care because, hey, you like big tits.
Yep.
They like tall guys.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Some things are facts of life. I know that's not necessarily funny, but I like to sometimes really, because I feel like a lot of short guys I know, I feel like they really struggle with that.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a friend who's on the shorter side, and like he never mentions it ever and does well with the ladies. Like he never talks about it. He's 5'7", which is pretty dang short for a guy. Well, on the shorter side, certainly. And like, I think he was 5'6" actually. And he's a handsome fella. He wears cowboy boots. He fucking has great style. He, you know, like just knows what he's about. He's a sick photographer. He's got a good job. Like, you know, these are things that he leans on and you know, I don't think also he doesn't talk about it ever, which is a big thing. I think that a lot of people who are concerned with how short they are, they're like big, like, and you know, this is speaking as like kind of a fat guy. Like I talked to my girlfriend's skinny and like tall and, you know, again, objectively hot. And like I mentioned that I was overweight to her when we like first started dating. And she was like, "Don't mention that again." like I don't want to. I'm not here to like make you feel better about that, and I don't care about that.
Oh, shout out to her.
Know what
we
I mean?
fucking love that.
Yeah. Like it's not something that concerns me. So yeah.
Well, on that note, this is a portion I've been wanting to get into for a while now. I want to give some more tips on how to shoot outside of your league, because I think me and Chris have always done that.
Yep.
And that is really step one. Is no matter what your shortcomings are, they do not define you.
Mm-mm.
And they will define you if you decide that everyone needs to know about them.
Right. I think physical shortcomings are not a thing. It's working on your envy and your jealousy and
Amen.
your self-hatred. Those are the shortcomings that will limit you in the long run.
And at the end of the day, you got to remember, bro, women run into some of the worst people on the face of the earth that want to do terrible things to them. And all you really got to do is be kind, be considerate, and don't be an absolute piece of shit. And somebody beautiful will see a lot of value in that. And whatever value you think you're losing in your height, sure, you might be losing some, but you can make that right back up very easily with a lot of other things.
Yep.
And I hope that helps, brother. And just know that you're not the first short guy to struggle with that, and you won't be the last short guy to overcome it. And that's what we love to hear, and we love to see on this fucking podcast. Shout out to the boys. I love men's rights.
That was really good up until the end.
Sorry. I had to get a punchline in there somewhere. Kidding, obviously. A little joke from me. All right, one more question here. We got a fashion one as well. This is a great question I love because I think this is one that a lot of men have been curious about due to the sign of the times here. This guy says, I've been a skinny pants guy for years. It seems like everyone is going baggy now. Should I change? How do I do that? I mostly buy the athletic fit at Target. Thanks.
I mean, I've been going baggy for a while now.
Yeah.
As someone with absolutely gigantic thighs.
Yeah, you got big heaters.
Not a possibility. So join us.
Where do you get your big baggy pants from?
Hardware stores.
What? By the shovels.
These current ones, these are Carhartts.
Okay.
I got these at a hardware store in Boulder, Colorado, called McGuckins.
Okay.
They were on sale, and they were a little small, and I had to fit them around my fat ass and just stretch them out for a day.
Yeah, that's really the key. You want some baggy pants quickly. That's my first piece of advice. Brother, do not be getting your pants at Target. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, those are 6-week pants because I realize I like wearing Carhartts and tough pants too because of my thighs.
Yeah.
I'm crotching them out.
Oh, 6-week pants.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 weeks until the crotch is absolutely paper thin, non-existent. Balls are popping out.
Really? I've never heard that 6-week pants.
Yes,
That's
well, that for
interesting,
me with I walk a lot and with
yeah.
vigor, and I have these thunder thighs.
Yeah.
And right where the pant seams come together,
Yeah.
I tend to they wear thin.
Interesting.
To the point where there's holes.
Wow, that's something I've never considered before. That's
yeah.
fascinating.
My thighs don't they don't have any separation. Like right.
Right, so you have to have a heavy duty.
Yeah. A good 4 inches of below my cock. My balls, when I'm sitting like this, are resting on top of my thighs.
Oh, mine too. I mean, mine do that too.
They're not living in between. This is they're ground level.
Wow, fascinating. You learn something new every day.
We got sidetracked. Anyway, yeah, get baggy pants. They're cool. Just be fashionable. I don't know.
Yeah, bro. This is kind of comes up on another topic I like to discuss is how to change your look. You know how to buy baggy pants, bro. You can go to the fucking hardware store. You can go wherever. The real key to changing your look is, here's the deal, bro. The first time you wear your clothes out around a bunch of pals, they're going to make a lot of fun of you and go, look at this guy in his big baggy pants.
Right.
The second time you wear those baggy pants around people, they're going to go, your like most annoying friend is going to go, oh, baggy pants, huh? And then the third time you wear them, that's what you wear now, bro.
Yeah.
And
so long as you don't melt down the first 2 times, you'll be allowed to wear them forever.
Yeah.
Because if you show any weakness on the first 2 times, you and those pants are fucked.
Yeah. If you get made fun of and you have a little panic attack, every time they see you in those, they're gonna have a field.
Look like meat's back on the menu, boys. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and don't be buying actually Target's not bad for basics, my guy, but do not be buying your pants at fucking at Target. A couple of great places to get pants. Like he said, I love Carhartt. These are Carhartt. His are Carhartt. If you're not trying to like steal blue collar working class valor, you can go to anywhere like Bonobos, get some khakis, really spend some money on pants because you're going to be wearing them quite often.
H&M also no go.
Yeah, we're done. We're done with fast fashion. We're grown adults, fellas, and buy some things that'll last you a while because you know you don't want to be fucking buying $15 chinos that some chick can.
Yeah, fast fashion. Can you tell me what that even means? I don't really know.
Fast fashion is essentially a lot of these, H&M, Zara, a lot of these places basically produce these garments that like years ago would have cost hundreds of dollars to make because of like technology and other things and sustainability. And now you can make like an incredible piece of clothing that looks amazing for pennies on the dollar, but it falls apart in 3 weeks.
Right.
And fashion is the single, I think besides like oil and gasoline or something, it's the single biggest waste in America or in the world. I mean,
yeah, no doubt about that. Okay, yeah, buy shit that works and lasts, and buy American.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any of this Chinese bullshit.
Dickies also makes some great pants.
Yeah,
they're a little bit cheaper than Carhartt. If Carhartt's a little out of your price range, that Carhartt has recently become popular streetwear, and they're certainly taking advantage of that fiscally. But Dickies is like a step below. Yeah,
certainly.
Yeah,
and also, bro, experiment a little. You'll find your look if you try hard enough. You'll find something you like. You just got to be willing to fail. But half the battle is being willing to. Now, that's all the questions for this episode. There are two things I like to do at the end here. It's a new segment I like to call "What's your least favorite thing about white people?" Which the only reason I ask that is because white people are annoying, and we make things more difficult for other races. And so I'm trying to bring up how to be a cooler white person. And Chris, I know that you are a white person.
Yep.
What is something you think we can do better?
Fucking talking about. How do I put this? Like, talking about differences rather than just trying to like be with. How do I say this?
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like it comes from white guilt. Just don't. White guilt really pisses me off. I think like obviously it should be there, and like we fucked around for sure historically.
Yeah.
But like, race is not the first thing about anybody.
Yeah, nobody makes more of an issue about race than white people.
Yeah, yeah,
certainly.
So I think that's it. Like tiptoeing around people of like other ethnicities. I think that's what bothers me the most about white people is like, not to say like let the stereotypes fly, but like fucking everybody is just as anxious about you and anxious as you are about probably different things than race, so relax a little bit.
Yeah, white people like to kind of put on the race crown and be like, I'm so concerned about it. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, you're making a big deal out of something that it shouldn't be a big deal out of. Just treat people like people.
It's the I am one of the good ones isms.
Yes, hero complex.
That shit bothers me.
Yeah, me too.
That's it. It was hard to put, but yeah, it's like this trying to display yourself as like I'm sensitive. It's like, no, fuck off.
Yeah,
it's so boring.
It's very suspicious that you're trying so
hard.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts like?
Yeah, what the hell are you up to?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I do that every episode. And then last question here, Chris. This one's from me. I like to ask a personal question at the end to every guest to give some advice. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I find you to have great steez for a large man. You've got a beautiful girlfriend.
Hey.
Give a couple tips out there to the bigger fellas about how to dress well and how to pull a beautiful woman.
Look,
kind of touched on it a little. Sorry.
No, you're good. I mean, dressing well. A lot of shirts are designed for people that are of a normal width. So look for tall. Just if you're not tall, it still applies to you because you can. It'll help you wrap your fucking body without having a weird like little gap at the bottom of your shirt. Right. Buy new shit too because you're big. You're gonna wear through clothes easier, and your clothes are gonna fit less and less well. Shit just kind of shrinks, especially cotton. So you're gonna have to.
It's very smart.
Have an upkeep that's higher than your normal person. And then thirdly, dress how you want. Just because you're big doesn't mean you should be limited. If you see something that's like, and you're like, oh, maybe they look good because they're skinny, that's not the case.
Amen.
There's a lot of really cool plus-sized fashion influencers out there that are bigger than you and I are, and they make shit look really fucking tight. So,
amen.
Follow their leads.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Never, ever. I love that. That's the theme of this episode. Ever let yourself be dictated by, let your decisions be dictated by your shortcomings, etc., or what you perceive as a negative trait, whatever the fuck. Fellas, you're gonna be just fine. And that was another episode of an incredible practical advice for weird little guys, the Being Cool Too Long of a Name podcast. Give it up for your guest, Chris Higgins, one time. Chris, hit these motherfuckers with some plugs. Tell the people where you're going to be at, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me. You can follow me at MyBudChris on across all social media platforms.
I'll flash it right there.
And I'm touring right now until the end of spring. So check out some dates there.
Give them your website.
Yeah, it's mybudchris.com. So it's pretty fucking easy. MyBudChris. Let's be buddies.
Incredible. Chris, thank you again for coming on. Fellas, see y'all next week.